Hi guys, welcome to another video. I'm going to tell you the best and the worst bags to buy. I have a lot of experience, I have made a lot of mistakes, and hopefully I can be of a little assistance. So how are we going to categorise all these best and worst? Let's find out. So how do we decide which things are the best and the worst? For what reason is something the best? Could it be price, durability, quality, just aesthetically pleasing? Anyway, we're going to go through lots of different categories. A short interlude just before we get going because I've got an announcement. I have an announcement to make. A double announcement. I am so excited. I have started TikTok. Who knew? Who knew? I'm just having fun over there. If you want to come and join me, I will link everything in the description box. I have also started a podcast. Now, the podcast is going to be slightly different. It will include luxury because that is part of who I am and I love all these things. But it's also a format for me to talk about lots of other things in my world. I really want to share with you guys about my fitness journey, about my career, about how I walked away from my career, how I found myself on YouTube as a 50-odd-year-old woman who had walked away from her career and all of that. But if I share it on this channel, firstly, the algorithm does not like it and my videos don't get pushed out anywhere. And I'm not sure all of you guys will do want to know about all of that. Some of you will. Some of you are just here for the bags, and I get that. So I decided I was going to do a podcast so I can talk about whatever I like over there. Again, if it's something you might be interested in, have a look in the description box. I will leave some links. Anyway, back to the subject in hand. So the first category is the best brand. And I am going to talk about the brands and all in this video. I'm going to talk about the things I have in my collection, apart from I've got one caveat to that, and we will come to that and you'll understand why. But everything else is what I have in my collection, what I have experience of. I'm not going to choose a brand that I'm going to say is the worst because it's something I would never be interested in, etc. So I'm just going to talk about things that I have. So the first category is, what is the best brand? And what is the worst brand? Well, the best brand, I would say that this a little while ago would have been very difficult for me because I have a few favourites. I do, and you guys know that. I love Hermes and I've always loved the quality, the craftsmanship. I love their bags. I wish I could have more of their bags. But things have changed for me, and that's a whole other video which I'm sure you'll have seen many times me talk about this on my channel. But what it does mean is that I don't think that Hermes can be classed as my favourite brand, like the best brand in my collection, because for me, to love a brand, you've got to love everything about it, whether it's the actual bags themselves, the quality, the customer service, the availability, all encompassing. So I have to say Louis Vuitton. I've stuck with Louis Vuitton for 30 odd years. It was the first ever luxury brand that I ever got. And yeah, I absolutely still love it. Still buying a lot of Louis Vuitton even today, 30 years later. So the best brand has to be Louis Vuitton. It just does. So what is the worst brand? Well, the worst brand that I own something from, and this pains me to say it, but it is true, and I have to say Dior. And the only reason that I am saying Dior is because, well, if you've watched my latest video, I think you'll understand this already. I have sold pretty much every single Dior bag that I have ever bought. I'm left with two. I'm left with this one, which is absolutely beautiful, the D-Joy in the mulberry colour, and I'm also left with the saddlebag that I no longer have because my daughter has pinched it, or should I say I have given it to her. So I'm left with this one, and I've bought many Dior bags over the years. So yeah, anyway, we're not going to go into why, because that is all in that other video, but it has to be my worst brand then, because it hasn't worked for me. and I'm really sad about it. But it has to be Dior. It has to be Dior. I'm really sorry. Okay, let's talk about the best and the worst bag in my collection in general. So we're not going to categorise it further other than just to say which I think is my best bag. And it's this one. It's this one. This is the Birkin 30 in Clemence leather in a colour called Blue Onk. Now, you guys know I love blue, but this is a very special, very beautiful blue. It's got quite a purpley indigo undertone. It's still really neutral, but it's got something about it. Oh, I just love this bag so much. And at the end of the day, it's a Birkin. It's a Birkin. And I am so just thrilled to have this. And I do think this is the best bag that I own because I can use it anytime, any occasion. And it looks amazing. It can be dressed up, it can be very casual, it holds a lot, it's actually quite practical, and I just adore it. I just adore it. So this is the best bag in my collection. So which is the worst? Well, this is very, very difficult, isn't it? Because I'm going to choose something that I still own. If something hasn't worked for me, I have probably sold it. So I won't include any of those because I have a few mistakes and regrets. But I think the worst bag I have in my collection, and again I feel so terrible, but it's this one. It's this. This is the backpack from Louis Vuitton, and this is about 30 years old, and it is just, yes, it's seen better days. But the reason this is the worst is, I've told the story a million times, but my husband surprised me with this. This was my first ever Louis Vuitton bag. And I really, really, really wanted an Alma, and he probably didn't even know that, but he went to London. So this was way before the internet, way before online shopping, way before there were any stores up north. So he went to London and he chose this for me. And I just don't like it. I've never liked it. I don't like backpacks. And yeah, bless him, he didn't know till very recently that I never liked it, because of course I used it, because why wouldn't I use a Louis Vuitton bag? I was just thrilled. So it's very sentimental, but it is the worst because I don't like it. I don't like it. Such a bad person, such a bad person. So let's talk value for money. So which is the best value for money bag in my collection? Hands down, it's got to be the Neverfull. I know I bang on about the Neverfull and it's boring and everyone's got one and everything else, but I have used this so much. I've had this for so many years, I don't even know how long, and I still use this pretty much every day, and the canvas on it is still amazing. The leather is doing well. We're getting a few cracks, but we're doing well. And it's just been an absolutely brilliant bag. And for the price of that, I think it was around £550. £550 when I bought it. Obviously, it's triple that now or something like that. But yeah, even at today's price as an entry-level bag, I still think these are the best value for money. You will use it all the time. So for me, it's the Neverfull. So which is the worst value for money? Well, I have bags that are sat behind me here that cost an absolute fortune that I don't use very often, and their cost per wear therefore is sky high. But I still class them as value for money because I love them. For example, my purple capucines, let's just grab it. My purple capucines in the exotic ostrich. This is one of my most special bags. I actually can't remember when I last used this. I don't use this very often at all, but it doesn't matter because it is an absolute work of art and I adore it, and I would never let it go anywhere. So it is still value for money for me, because I accept the fact that it's not going to be something I'm going to use a lot. So I think I'm going to have to choose this one, and again it pains me to say it, but I think I'm going to have to choose this one because this isn't in the category of it being expensive, but I'm okay with the fact that I don't use it. I'm actually very sad that I don't use it, and it's not in the same category as these for me. It's not special enough, but then it's very beautiful, and I just feel like I don't get the value from it, because this was so expensive. This was £4,200 and it is just absolute the dream. But I don't use it, so it's got to be, yeah, the worst value for money, which is really sad. But it is, I think it is the truth. If I was to sell this, then I don't think I'd get anywhere near the retail value of this, obviously, because it's second hand and because it's Dior, and Dior just do not hold their value. However, yeah, I think that makes it even worse at value for money, because I couldn't even get my money back on it if I wanted to. So I think that has to be the worst. Best quality bags. Now I'm categorising this as, I'm just going to choose a bag that is the best quality and a bag that is the worst. So best is very, very difficult because I have so many contenders for this. So the first contender has to be the Birkin, because I honestly think that the quality of Hermes bags is just, and I could choose any of the Hermes bags, but the quality is just insanely good. But I also have to bring into the mix the Capucines. Have a look at this. This is Tyrolean leather, and then it's got the flower crown, and then it's got the mother of pearl inlay. Oh, it's just exquisite. And I just feel like, I don't know, I honestly don't know, I just think it's a beautiful, beautiful bag. It's just a stunning, stunning bag. And yeah, sorry, I just want to touch them all. So I do think, and also I have another one which is down here. Let's just have a look at the mini Capucines. I just think the quality of these is so good. Some of the entry-level Louis Vuitton bags may have a little bit more in the quality issue stakes, but I think the Capucines are just beautiful. So I'm gonna have two answers for the best quality: the Capucines and the Birkin, and I'm sticking to my story. The worst, this is really, really difficult because I don't have anything in my collection that's left in my collection that is bad quality, I don't think. I've had bags that have been, but I have moved them on. So I'm going to choose one of them just for the purpose of this video. And it is the Chanel Trendy. That bag was such a disappointment to me. It was unbelievable. I wanted that bag for so long, and I always loved caviar, but it never came out in caviar. It probably would have been too heavy in caviar because it has a lot of compartments, a lot of leather going on. I don't know. I assume that's why they don't do it in caviar. But I thought, no, I'd seen loads of reviews of people saying how the lambskin actually was not quite as delicate as you think, and actually you can use it all the time. I hardly used that bag, and it was so delicate. And I've had other lambskin items that haven't been as bad as that. So I understand it's delicate. I knew that when I bought it, but it disappointed me when I really looked after it, and it still showed wear on the corners and scratches, and I don't know, I wasn't impressed with the quality of it. I just wasn't. So Chanel Trendy lambskin, the worst. So we're now going to talk about beauty. So which is the best in the beauty category and which is the worst? So which is the most aesthetically pleasing and which is the least aesthetically pleasing, or which is the ugliest? Let's just say, let's just call it what it is. Which is the most beautiful, which is the ugliest? So the most beautiful bag in my collection is very difficult. I have a lot of contenders. I have my purple Capucines up there. I think that is stunning. I have the beautiful Capucines BB with the flower crown, stunning. I have the most beautiful Fendi First. Oh, I love this bag so much. The Fendi First in the sequins, which is the midnight blue. Oh, I just adore this bag. So I'm sorry, but this is very beautiful. It's not everybody's favourite, I understand. I also have this new beauty, which is the mini Chanel in the sequins. Oh, just unbelievable. I can't stop looking at it in the viewfinder. And I also have my mini Capucines in the lizard. So this is exotic skin lizard in the iridescent petrol colour. Oh, I don't know how to narrow it down. I love the Fendi first, but I know it's not everyone's favourite, but it's one of mine. I'm going to narrow it down to one of these two because I just think they're both spectacular. Oh, the shine, the finish on these. Comment below, guys, which is to you the most beautiful bag in my collection. Is it one of these? Which one do you love? I'm going to go for this one, and this is my, I think this is the favourite bag in my collection, but now I've got this. I did a video all on this and this came out on top, but then since then I've bought this one, and because this is quite new. Is this not the most beautiful bag? Oh, how do I choose? It's these two. These two. I'm cheating again. So which is the ugliest bag in my collection? Well, I don't think I have an ugly bag because one, I wouldn't have bought it if I thought it was ugly, and I haven't changed my mind to think that something's ugly that I didn't in the beginning. And two, I don't think any of you guys would think any of mine are ugly. You might call them bland or boring or neutral or classic or timeless, or I don't know, you might just think they're a bit meh, but they're not really ugly. I don't have anything that quirky. I don't know. So how am I going to choose? Well, I'm going to choose this one. Oh, poor little thing. Honestly, I feel really guilty, but yeah, because my husband chose you. But yeah, sorry husband, if you are watching this, in two categories it has to be this. Yeah, I don't think it's ugly. It's just not my style. There's nothing, I don't know, I feel guilty saying this as if it's a human being next to me, but I just feel there's nothing about it that actually draws me in at all. There's literally nothing other than it being Louis Vuitton monogram. There's nothing where I just don't know. It's just not my favourite. So let's not call it ugly. Let's call it the least aesthetically pleasing in my collection. So there we have it. Have a look at my description box. Please go over and follow me on TikTok because we might just have some fun over there. We can be a bit more casual. I can just do really short clips. It's just fun. And please have a listen to my podcast because I'm loving it. I've only done episode 1. I'm doing more. I love talking. So come and join me. Anyway, thank you so much again for watching. I'll see you on another one.